Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining today's webinar. This is Charlotte Radke with Agent Dealer, and today we're going to go through sharing of your records. Sharing is caring. All right, I also have my counterpart, Brooke Anderson. As your account managers and training specialists, we're here to help, so please feel free to reach out to us for any assistance. Also, your questions and comments are absolutely welcome. So there is a chat in the webinar panel. So please add all of your questions there. I will check the chat periodically. Now, if for some reason I don't get to your question during today's session, please know that I will follow up by email to get all questions answered. And all attendees will also receive a copy of the recording for future reference. Another item just to mention is I will be logged into our Agent Dealer demo system. So if my screen or tabs or page layouts look a bit different from what you see on your side, please know, again, it's just based on my demo database, but feel free to ask any questions on what you may see. Also, we like to remind everyone to visit the support community. This is a great place to find all of your training resources, including how-to guides, training videos, as well as past webinars. So if you need a refresher on any topics, please visit the support community. And now here's what we're going to cover today. So we're going to go through the steps of how to share a business record and or a contact, deal, even equipment records. So each record in your system has one owner, and I'll go through that and share it with you. But you may need to collaborate with some of your team members. So maybe you need to share a business with a team member. Maybe you need to share a deal with a team member so you can strategize on a great solution for your client. So that's where we can actually share a record, and that's what we're going to go through today. So let's go ahead and we'll take a look at the demo. All right, so here I am. I'm logged into our Agent Dealer demo system, and I'm going to navigate to a business record. Now, I'm just logged in as the admin user, so I'm just a regular user, but we're named the admin. But if I navigate to a business record and go to the details section, each record, it can only have one business owner. So in this example, Henry Edwards is the business owner. So each record can only have one business owner. Same with contact records, deal records, or equipment records. So if you, as the logged in user, need to strategize, again, with one of your team members, then you could share that record with the team member. Now, keep in mind, if you're a manager, managers will be able to access all the business records that their reps can access. So there's a hierarchy involved. So if I'm at the management level or an executive level, or even as the administrative level, I can see all records that are assigned to everybody underneath me. So again, if I'm the manager, then I can see all of my reps' accounts, deals, equipment, etc. So I don't need to share it with a manager. I just need to share it with another team member if they're also a sales rep at my same level. So a couple of other things to show you before I go into sharing is you might also have some groups set up. So under the More button, or it might be here on your navigation bar, or you can add groups if you don't have it to your navigation bar by selecting the pencil. But I might have some groups set up for my organization, and I'm just going to look at active groups. So in my example, I have a training group, and I have, again, just the training group in my example. But the reason why I'm showing you this is because you can also share it with the group or even more than one user. So I just wanted to point that out if you wanted to review any groups. But here, let me go back to the business record. And now I do need to share this business record with one of my team members. So right here on the business record, if you go to the far right, if you look at the little drop down, now you might have the tab visible right here, but otherwise go to the drop down and you should see sharing. Now here, I'm going to share the record and I can look at this little people icon, but I can see again, I can share it with a user or users, a public group, and that's why I wanted to show you, you can look at your groups, or I can share it with a specific role. So say sales teams, a specific sales manager that might not be my sales manager, or a role and subordinate. So again, that could be a sales manager or another sales team that I'm not a part of, but I need to share this record. So if I went to roles and I just started typing in managers, actually I have the major accounts role or I have the marketing role. If I start typing in sales, I see I can share this with my North sales team or South sales team, whatever it may be. But in my example, and now the role and subordinates would be that role and everybody underneath them in the hierarchy. So managers and all the reps that are under that manager. But if I just typed in user, let me just go back to user. Now in my example, I have a username. Let's see here. I'm going to go and type in, Henry's already the business owner on this particular account. So in my training database, I need to find my user. And there we are. So I have a MFA testing user and I have a sales and marketing user. So we have some crazy names for our users set up in our demo database, but that's okay. Now, once you find your user, so again, just select the users and start typing in their name. And now I can have multiple users just like I did. But once you have the users selected, now you want to give them the access of either read-only or read-write. So read-only is exactly that. They can access the business record, but they can only read the information. They can't do any edits or changes. So if you really want to collaborate with some of your team members, you may consider giving them read-write. So with read-write, you're actually going to give them access to make changes, edits, additions to the business record. So now I'm going to hit save. So now if I come back to my sharing, and if you now see shared with 5 groups of users, if I go to edit, so again, I already shared it with these users, and I can see what access they have. I'm sorry, business access. We don't use cases or opportunities, so you can just scratch those. But we use the business access. And again, what type of access do they have? Read only or read write? Now, Henry Edwards is already the business owner, but again, I can update the access or even take it away, give them none, or I can hit the little X to the far right of that particular user to delete them from the access. So just to show you again how to share the business record. Now, if you're sharing it with one of your team members, you might also consider using the chatter tool to @mention, and I'm going to say @mention Mary Marketer, I shared this business record with you so we can strategize on the best solution for this customer. So whatever it may be, whatever your note may be. But again, now that I shared it, I would want to chatter to Mary so she knows that she can now access this record. Now that is, again, sharing the business record. If I also need to share my deal record, it's the same process, but I have to go into each object that I want to share the record. So I have a deal already created, so now I need to share this deal because my deal is an equipment deal. But again, maybe I want to strategize with one of my specialists. So maybe an MPS specialist or network services or IT services, or you might have a wide format or production, but you realize that there is an opportunity to also include some other type of offering besides just equipment deals. So again, you want to share this deal with one of your team members or specialists, and you need to go through the same steps. So I'm on the deal record, and again, here's all the deal information I put in. But if I come now to my drop down, again, if you don't see the sharing tab visible, it may be under the drop down, and I'm going to come to sharing here. So the same concept is share it with a user or a group, or again, a role and subordinates. So again, if I need to share this with Mary, and again, I'm going to also pick Casey. So I just did a search for both of them, found them, and I'm going to give them read, write, and save. So now, again, I would recommend using the chatter and chatter to both on the deal record. Whoops, sorry, I went too far. Didn't mean to go all the way. Chatter to both Mary and to Casey. This deal is now shared with you, and please provide your recommendations for a total solution or whatever it may be. Now, again, I'm sharing this record with them, but just to notify them quickly and easily, I'm using the chatter tool. So now that they know that they have access to this deal record as well. Now, again, if you need to come back to the sharing, just as a quick reminder, I can see who it's being shared with, and I can either delete them, or I can then give them different access or none, and then make sure to hit save, or I can keep adding. Maybe I want to do it by role, and I need to share this with one of the sales teams. So that's sharing. Now, a question came in, and we do get this question all the time, so I'm very glad that the question came in. But the question is, if I shared the business record already, why do I also have to share the deal record if it's related to the business? So great question, and again, that comes up a lot, is that's the way it's set up, is you have to share each record individually. There's not a way to automatically relate all of the other objects like a deal or even equipment as part of the sharing of the business record. So it does make sense that if you share the business record, you'd want to share all of the other related items, but that's not always the case. So the way it's set up in AgentDealer is you do need to share per record. So maybe I want to share this business with the team like I just did, but I don't necessarily want to share my deal with them, or I don't want to share the equipment with them. But again, if I need to share with any of these other objects with the team, you need to go to each individual record, and even on the equipment record, you can share. So just wanted you to be aware of that. Now, another question came in, and again, I hope I answered this, but if I am the manager, or if I'm the sales rep, but my manager needs to see, do I have to share it with my manager? No, you do not. Your managers will automatically see all of your records, including businesses, contacts, deals, and equipment. So the way it's set up in the AgentDealer system is all of the managers will see access to all of the records that their reps have access to. And then if I'm above the manager in the hierarchy, maybe I'm an executive or again the admin, I automatically see all the records. So you don't have to share it with somebody that's above you as far as a manager or an executive or even the administrator. you really need to share it with just other team members that are at the same level as you as a sales rep. Now, we also have on the admin side, we also have some sharing rules that your administrators can set up. We're actually going to cover that in more detail in our training webinar next week for admins only. But I know that some of you may be an overlay, some kind of a sales specialist for specific sales that you provide to your company. So if you're an overlay rep, again, there's can be some sharing rules that are set up on the back end, on the admin side, or if a certain team should automatically see all accounts in a certain territory, again, there's certain sharing rules that can be set up. So that's what we wanted to cover today, because we do get the question a lot that, hey, I'm working with one of my team members, but they can't access the same business record that I'm on because I'm the owner of the record. So that's where the sharing comes into play. So share the business record. If you need to share a contact record, you would do the same thing. If you need to share the deal record, like I went through, again, you'll have the same concept and share the records as needed. Once you share the records, again, I always recommend use the chatter tool, because they don't automatically get a notification that the record has been shared with that person. So that's why I recommend using the post. Now, again, as the administrator, you might be able to set up some kind of a notification, but recommendation is chatter to those users that you've shared with to collaborate with you on that particular deal and or business record. And again, the goal is to share these records as needed, to have a team effort in collaborating so you can come up with a fantastic strategy for all of your clients. Okay, that's what we had for today. So I think I got all the questions answered. I don't see anything else in the chat, but if for some reason I did not get to your question, I will follow up after the webinar, and I'll make sure to email you. So again, thank you for joining, and as always, reach out to us for any question. Thanks for joining today. Enjoy the rest of it. Bye-bye.